What's going on, Master Duel fans? James here again. Deck profile from the additional missions for you guys. For the wind deck of choice, nobody has ever thought about this deck for quite some time ago when it comes to the unique showcasing of one of the most absolute unknown decks ever there is to this day. The deck of choice happens to be Gusto. Gusto are mostly synchro variants, if you notice the extra deck, with the exception of the Phoenix being an XZ and an Emerald being the XZ. But this build is optimizing synchro style to some degree, featuring the two links. And before we get things started, just wanted to say thank you to the new subscribers who've been tuning in to the Master Duel content on the channel as of late. And then with that being said, let us jump into the deck profile. Let me just get the two monster hand traps out the way. One Ghost Sisters and one Ghost Mourner. What's even more funny about the Ghost Mourner is that she is a wind tuner, to be specifically, which means Pilica, 3 of them, have the ability to revive a wind tuner on normal or special summon. She lets you revive any wind tuner in general. And it doesn't gotta be a Gusto tuner, by the way, when you can just revive the Ghost Mourner, which is absolutely insane. And then the turn you use Pilica's effect, which of course I do play 3 of them, she's the heart and soul of the deck. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except wind monsters. And then 3 Vidir. When it comes to Vidir, if a face-up Gusto monster is either killed by battle or sent to your graveyard, free special from your hand. And then upon no more special, Foolish Burial any Gusto monster from deck to the graveyard. So yeah, Foolish Burial. Then you have the option to special 1 Gusto from your hand. Each effect of Vidir once. And then 2 each of the birds. 2 Eagle, 2 Falco, 2 Goldo. And of course, like literally every other combo player of Gusto in general, every time the Synchro Summon comes up, these birds always miss the timing, which I am always aware of, about the keyword when, so you guys ain't gotta remind me about that every now and then. 2 Eagle. Not once a turn. When this card is killed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special 1 level 4 or lower, non-tuner Gusto from your graveyard. The non-tuner targets: Cam, Pilica. 2 Falco. When this face-up card on the field is sent to the graveyard that isn't off from battle, you can special 1 Gusto monster from your deck and face down. It's meant for synchro summon shenanigans. And then 2 Goldo. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, special 1 level 2 or lower Gusto from your deck. The level 2 or lower targets: Falco, Eagle. And it's not once a turn. And then the one of Gustos, 1 Cam, soft once per turn. Shuffle 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into the main deck as the cost, by the way. Resolution is draw 1. There were times in which players tend to negate the Cam. What they don't find out is that even if Cam ends up getting negated, shuffling back the 2 Gusto monsters back to the deck, its cost is completely broken. So that way, if you never got your Tailwind effect going in conjunction with Cam, that leads you to exploding up a lot of plays. And then Ree's Whirlwind of Gusto, favorite card. Obviously, she's the true brick. Don't want to draw her ever. When it comes to Reese, once per turn, return one card from your hand to the bottom of the deck to target one monster your opponent controls and one face-up Gusto monster you control, self included. Switch control of both of those monsters. The creature swap effect of Reeve definitely comes up a lot, especially the fact that if they have floodgate monsters in which I am in a unwinnable state, Reeves can actually fix that by having me take the floodgate monster, or for the sake of the biggest beat stick monsters, and it makes it so that I'm able to take the commanding position of controlling the biggest beaters. And on top of that, Reeves having one of those birds, being Egol or Godo, switching off one of the bigger beater monsters, and it makes it so that you are able to push for more damage. And then spells: Feather Duster, Change of Heart, Foolish Burial, Quill Pen of Godos, the one. Target 2 wind monsters in your graveyard and one card anywhere on the field. Shuffle both of those first 2 targets into your deck, and if you do, return the other target to the hand. Generally, the idea about the Quill Pen, not once per turn by the way, is that this outs floodgates slash cards that have the saving grace or couldn't be killed by card effects no way. And then Foolish Goods, meant for you to toss out the 3 Tailwinds. Speaking of which, 3 Tailwinds, this card is super dumb because this lets you e-telly a Gusto in any shape or form. Depends on the level slash rank of a Gusto monster, as long as you have it hooked up to a Gusto. If it's 4 or lower, special 1 Gusto with a different type. But if it happens to be a 5 or higher, special 1 level 1 tuner, being Egol, from the deck. And keyword, level 1 tuner in general doesn't gotta be Gusto, which is absolutely insane, from the deck. And then, speaking of E-Telly, 2 E-Tellys, and then Snatch Steal, Triple Tactics Talent, card is nice. And then the 1 Book of Moon, 2 Forbidden Chalice, 1 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Blizzard. Blizzard comes up in niche situations to some degree about negating the spells, board breaking spells, which is nice. And then traps, the 1 Trap Trick, and then the Power Traps, 3 Imperm, 2 Evenly Matched, 3 Spiritual Wind Art Miyabi. If any of these stick the landing, all from Trap Trick, and if your opponent doesn't have any further plays after, you literally win. Imperm, evenly self-explanatory. Miyabi should be 1 wind monster, target 1 card your opponent controls, spell or trap included. Place that opponent's card on the bottom of the deck. It's basically Ryza, but instead of top of the deck, it's bottom of the deck. And then the main deck list: 1 card you didn't see or couple cards. Contact and Win the Wind Channeler. I do not play Contact for 1 because I never really saw the point of recurring cards just to out something when we already got the Synchro monster to do the job for us. And then Win the Wind Channeler, on the other hand, in terms of targets in general, I really don't think Win the Wind Channeler just doesn't do enough, in my honest opinion. But at the same time, it's where if I expect it to get myself restricted in any shape or form, like obviously not counting the wind monsters for 1, I really don't see myself getting myself losing hand and or field advantage to some degree, but at the same time, it's like if you have birds in your hand in conjunction with the channeler discarding any of those birds in terms of the synergy just to get the Pilica, and then you can keep your combo going. But the problem was no space in this main deck. And then extra deck, all entity hostile, Stardust Charge Warrior, Stardust, the cheeky card of all cheeky cards, Ukio Punk, Amazing Dragon. We all know what's up about this ever since my Vernasilf Punk deck, of course. When it comes to Ukio Punk in this specific event, to be specific, the reason why I said that Ukio Punk is one of the cheeky cards in terms of nonsense effects is that first chance he synchro summon target cards up to the number of level 3 psychics with different names you control, and this lets you bounce your opponent's cards back to the hand. Basically, the level 3 psychic you see out of this would be Pilica, and it makes it so that you get yourself a free bounce with the help of Pilica thanks to Ukio Punk. Great Fly, Win, Basic, and then the Gusto Synchros. Daigusto Falcos. Upon Synchro Summon, when Synchro Summon, all Gusto monsters currently on the field, in the mirror included, gain 600 attack. Daigusto Goldos. Solve once per turn, shuffle 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into the main deck to target one face-up monster your opponent controls, kill it. Daigusto Goldos is literally contact with Gusto. Daigusto's Freeze. This is the best synchro in the extra deck, no doubt about this. And on top of that, when I crafted a playset of Freeze, one of those copies of Freeze ends up being glossed out. So shiny Freeze at her finest. First chance she gets synchro summoned, target one Gusto card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand, spell/trap included, in terms of Gusto card to recur. This card cannot be killed by battle. Your opponent takes any battle damage that you would have taken from battles involving a face-up Gusto monster you control, self included. Daigusto Lapland Pilica. If this card resolves, you literally win. You can only special summon Lapland Pilica once. Your opponent cannot target other Gusto Synchros within card effects. So the idea is that if you have Lapland Pilica and Freeze on the same field, once that Freeze hits the Synchro Summon effect, your opponent couldn't do anything to target the Freeze, making sure my recursion goes off guaranteed. And then the other effect is that the reason why I said I literally win is because first chance Lapland Pilica is synchro summoned, special one Gusto from hand and one from deck in terms of legal tuner/non-tuner Gusto targets. Then immediately after this effect resolves, put up a synchro summon of one Gusto Synchro using only those two. And the turn you do this, you cannot special except wins. Daigusto Eagles. Once per turn, solve once per turn. During your end phase, banish one wind monster, doesn't gotta be Gusto, but banish one wind monster from your graveyard to target one face down card your opponent controls, kill that target. And with that being said, the only extra deck card that I am not going to mention out of this, no Rubber Band Shooter, because If Rubber Band Shooter ends up getting impermanenced for whatever the reason may be, which of course Rubber Band Shooter is one of the choke points, you will never be able to get your extra normal summon out the gate, for one. And with that being said, this has been James Polk on this unique deck profile of Gusto. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and if you haven't already, smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated, and we'll catch you guys next time.